What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another video. As you can see, today is oversized load day. Get ready. You are joining me in my truck. We are still in Pecos, Texas at the Flying J, getting ready to head out because today we are picking up our first over height load that I have took. So we are going to essentially be 12 feet off the top of my deck on a step deck, which I'll show you later. But our overall height's 15.4-ish is what we're going to be. So yesterday we got the permits. We're going to be going from Texas into New Mexico all the way through Colorado and then delivering on the north side of Cheyenne, Wyoming. So we had to get the permits lined up for Texas, New Mexico, and Colorado yesterday, which was Friday. Today's Saturday, by the way. Saturday morning, obviously, but that way I could drive today, make it up into Colorado, and then I will shut down until Monday morning. That way I have time to do my 34-hour restart. And then my appointment's at 2 o'clock Monday afternoon in Cheyenne. So, but anyways, guys, I am going to run in and grab some coffee and maybe something for breakfast because, well, I guess I have some oatmeal left, but I'm out of food. I'm not heading home this weekend, so I'm going to be out on the roads. So I'm hoping to make it to around Castle Rock, Colorado, or Monument, wherever that Pilot Flying J is right there, and then shut down there. That way I can run to a Walmart and grab some more food for next week. But anyways, guys, I will see you here in a minute. Let's get some coffee, get on the road, and get up there to get loaded. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so we have made it here to where we are picking up the reels. Sorry, I have a big shot of sunflower seeds in my mouth. Probably wasn't smart to talk with, but anyway, so this is where we're at. Just a yard up here in the oil fields, essentially. So, and then there's this guy next to me. He's getting ready to haul some reels too. So what we need to do is get out and get our chains ready. 12-foot reels at 20,000 pounds. We'll probably need roughly 4 chains with the size of chains I have. 4 chains a piece, possibly 5 just to be safe, because I don't want a reel coming through the cab of my truck if I had to slam on my brakes. But yeah, let's get out, get our chains ready, and go from there. Alright, so we just got the chains and binders all laid out. So we're going to go 2 forward, 2 backwards on each reel. Possibly 1 just in the center of each reel. But I'm pretty sure 4 chains and 4 binders will be sufficient. This guy here on the other side of me, there's 4 of us here right now. They're doing 6 trucks. 5 of the trucks have 2 reels, and then the other one has a single reel. But yeah, so he's pulling off right now to go down there and get in line. There's already 2 trucks down there in front of him, so I was the 4th truck here, so I'm just making sure that I stay in my position so we don't irritate anybody. But just use my blaster lubricant to lube up the binder. So all right, ladies and gentlemen, so today we are hauling our first oversized load, or my first oversized load. Never hauled oversized before, so it's been an experience so far. I actually loaded this yesterday, so these reels that you see here behind me are 12 feet tall exactly, with their little stand that they have, which puts me at about 15.4 for my overhaul height. So as you can see, we're not over width and we're not over length, but we're definitely over height. So you can see me, they're pretty tall. I'm like 6'10" or something, you know. Just kidding, I'm 5'7" on a good day wearing boots. But anyways, yeah, it's been an experience. So for me, you know, the whole process was new, as far as getting permits, to loading, to damn near shitting your pants when you go under underpasses, as you guys seen on the startup of the video. In New Mexico, we just hit the New Mexico-Colorado border on that underpass right over there, but on I-25 headed north into Colorado. This load's going up to Cheyenne. But anyways, as you guys seen, we went under a 1510 overpass, whatever, and the load's 15.4, and so you're praying to God that the sign's right. But we went under 2 of them total. They were 15.10, and both times, you know, like, I tapped the brakes and slowed down. I mean, there's not much you can do. If you're gonna hit, you're gonna hit. But I was just praying to God that those signs were right. You know, 6 inches, that doesn't leave you much room for error when you're doing, you know, 50-55 miles an hour underneath them, because you're not sure if the damn sign's right. So, but anyways, guys, so this is my first oversized load. So we have the placard on the front of the truck, and then show you, so I'm pointing in the sky for some reason. There's the one on the rear of the truck. So, but they're big. I mean, they're every bit as wide as the damn trailer is. So, and then we just walked along and, you know, make sure all the chains are tight, because we're going to go through, probably 2 weigh stations today. We have one in about 13 miles that we're going to go through entering Colorado. And then we have the one in Monument, Colorado that we might make. I only have 4 hours and 40 minutes left on my 70-hour clock. And so I'll be taking a 34 here later this afternoon. guys, I'm not risking this one where I'm 15 feet 4 inches tall. Well, if you guys can read that right there, that one's 15 feet 9 inches and it's arched, and so yep, I wasn't going to drive under that one, so we took the off ramp. loads. This load was oversized height-wise. It wasn't oversized as far as a wide load or a long load, but we ended up being in between 15.3 and 15'4" tall. As you'll see, I had 12-foot reels on my truck, and so it was a good oversized load. I did learn, obviously, I had to slow down quite a bit with this load just because of how high it was, and you know, how much weight I had up high. The load loved to sway back and forth. So, but among that, I've learned a lot about the permit process with help from a couple of buddies reaching out to me to let me know what I would need to get permits, because you have to have, you know, your width, the widest part of your truck, trailer, or load, depending on where the widest part is. You have to have that measurement. You have to have your height measurement. You have to have the length of your truck, the length of your trailer, the length of your truck and your trailer, and then you have to have measure from your steer tires to your first drive, and then from your drive to your drive, then your drive to your trailer, and then your trailer to your trailer, and you go from the center of each wheel to the center of the next wheel, and you have to know all those measurements. It was just a whole list of things that they need to give you oversized permits. So, and then not to mention, you know, this is the first time that I've had to hang oversized banners, and so figuring out how to secure the banners with the bungee cords and whatnot, you know, that was fun. But anyways, so this was my first oversized load, and so it ended up being a good learning experience. You know, obviously I'm not a professional, or not going to try to say that I am when it comes to oversized. This was my first one. We did it with almost no hiccups. The only hiccup we had was coming into the state of Wyoming, because I had my New Mexico and my Colorado permits, but in Wyoming you have to stop at the port and get your permit, and that's what some of the other drivers that was coming up this way told me. They're like, oh yeah, you can't get a permit, you just stop at the port to get the permit, you can't do it online. And so I just stopped at the port as I got to it. Well, the port's 7 miles inside the Wyoming border when you're coming north on I-25 out of Denver. And I thought when I passed the border, I was like, well, you know, am I allowed to go into Wyoming, you know, without a permit to get to the port? Well, it comes to find out, yeah, you're supposed to call before you come into Wyoming. You're supposed to call and get a clearance number, is what they call it. So in the clearance number, when you call and get that, that gives you the permission to enter the state of Wyoming and drive to the port. And then once you get to the port, you get your permit from the port to wherever you're going within the state of Wyoming. And so I didn't get cited or anything. He just gave me a warning. I told him, you know, I was just honest with him. Sorry, I had no clue. This is the first time that I've hauled one into the state of Wyoming. And the lady who does our permits at the office, she didn't know. She has just recently started doing oversized permits, because we have an RGN, which is a removable gooseneck for those guys who don't know. We have an RGN in our fleet now, and so he does oversized pretty much constantly. But instead of using a company to get our permits, she's learning how to do the permits for us. Or, well, for him mainly, and for me when I need them, because I don't do oversized very often at all. So it was just, none of us knew, and so, you know, the guy at the was cool enough to let me slide with a warning. But he says if you do have warnings as a company, then you're getting cited. And so I made sure to call the office and let them know that from now on, when we come to the state of Wyoming, we have to call and get that clearance number. So for you guys out there getting into oversize or hauling into the state of Wyoming with oversize, make sure that you have that clearance number coming in so that you can drive from the border to the port of entry. So, but anyways, guys, that's just some of the stuff I learned on this oversized load. So I mean, there's tons and tons more that I need to learn before I could do anything else. I mean, I didn't use any pilot cars, no nothing. The only thing I had to worry about was overpasses. And so you'll see, well, you've seen in the startup of the video, I was 15.4 depending on when you measure it. But we went under some overpasses that were clear down to 15.9. So I went around the first one, and then there was some that didn't have an exit, so I had to go through it. But it kind of gives you a little heart attack for a second when you only have 4 or 5 inches to spare. But you guys who are used to it, it's probably not a big deal. But for me, being my first one, it's a little nerve-wracking going under some of those overpasses. But anyways, guys, I appreciate everybody for watching. And thanks for all the support and all the positive comments that you guys are always giving me. I really appreciate it.